Aloha, y'all. I was trying to go live on Facebook and it said it couldn't do it. Facebook is probably dying as a platform like MySpace once did, even though everyone's still on it, quote unquote. I'll be making videos and I guess posting them as posts, so it won't be live, but feel free to comment. I will interact with that still and doing what we can, adapting, improvising, and overcoming, as Bear Grylls would say. Or whatever he says. Today is Tuesday, Tyr's Day, ruled by Tyr, the god of war, essentially in Nordic mythology. It is a third eye day, Ajna Chakra day, according to the dream spell. It is a yellow, or no, rather, it is the 17th, Tuesday the 17th, red crystal Skywalker guided by life force. So we are going through quite a bit right now. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon is in the last degrees of Sagittarius. That'll be out of there in the next few hours. Um, and Mercury is in Scorpio. Venus is in Libra. Mars is in Aries. Jupiter, Saturn are in Capricorn. Uranus is in Taurus. Pluto is also. Neptune's in Pisces, retrograde. Pluto's in Capricorn. I don't really talk about the outer planets much unless they shift because we all kind of know what that's happening. It's very long. Everything that's personal planet up to Jupiter is changing more readily. Anyway, Ajna Chakra, third eye chakra, be doing the mudras, be doing the mantras. It goes a long way in these times of great change and great confusion, great instability. We can maintain our energy, and that is what we probably should be doing. So I will never tell you what to do, but I will tell you I am doing this. Take it or leave it. So let's go ahead and pull some cards and see what's going on this Tears Day. I guess I've been posting on Facebook for 10 years, making cool posts. Got a 12,000 person following community on called Team Rabbit Hole. Got a podcast, but found my fiance through the internet. But it seems it's shifting and control mechanisms are real. But this too shall pass, and I have to focus on that. Ace of Cups, beautiful card. Let's go through it. Right, this is a baptism, essentially. So, Ace of Cups. This is about allowing the replenishing energy to wash over you, abundance of growth, offering your creative brilliance and love when it doesn't get cockblocked by the digital empire. Ace of Cups. I overflow with the essence of life. The great joyful climax of celebration pours from the cup after a sacrifice of time, energy, and comfort. It can be the union with self or another, the graceful sense of accomplishment and fullness after a long and arduous journey. Every drop of vitality has been used to reach this point. It's all consequential. You are an accumulation of choices and causes and effects within yourself and without yourself that have led to this present moment. In the Ace of Cups, the artwork is a beautifully crafted cup or chalice of gold and silver. It overflows with life-giving waters gathered from the clouds, ravishing and pure. The abundance of life-sustaining water heralds new life, cracks open the scorched clay earth below to reveal the hidden jewel of fecundity which lies beneath. Golden roots are nourished, growing and anchoring, seeking new intelligent pathways. They send the twisted vine bursting into the sky and to freedom. A lotus flower, sensual and exquisite, innocently blooms in the foreground. It symbolizes the purity we reach when we overcome the muddy waters of attachment and desire. This card carries the energy of one who sacrifices for the love of another, the love which traverses harsh conditions and triumphs even when it seems there is nothing left to give. The power to grow and flourish is released. The sacred milk of life spills over in celebration. The tide comes in at last, the replenishing water returns, and everything feels the surge of this peak experience. The ecstatic pulse of existence rises and sweeps away negativity, cleansing you of the past sacrifices and discomforts, renewing you. The Ace of Cups communicates the energy of regeneration. Barren items can now bear fruit. Ideas requiring a tremendous amount of hard work and sacrifice can now be realized. Consciously open yourself to receive this nourishment and this stream of calm, flowing energy into your life and see it birth new life. The theme of regeneration is connected to the fountain of youth in mythological tales and the search for the spring which purportedly restores the youth of anyone who drinks its waters, thus becoming re-enchanted with life. For the fountain enlivens those who create with creative possibilities. As life nourishes you, so you wish to give in return. Offer your brilliance to the altar of love, a deep loving and appreciation for the life you've been gifted. The highs and lows, the good, the bad, the Facebook crashes, whatever comes is all good, and we're on this trip together. This journey of becoming. So let's see what we can get clarifying with this. I guess I'm all disheveled because my plans were thwarted, but I need to birth myself into a new energy, ultimately knowing this too shall pass. The Three of Air. Very Harry Potter vibes. So, air is about mind, intellection. If you're a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, you're naturally resonating with air. So, what can this tell us? Here we go. Three of Air. Keywords are education, talent, study, willingness, guides and teachers, comprehension, communication, and perception. Key phrases: expand your mind. Every experience offers a lesson, including Facebook crashing on me all the time. Education is a lifelong process. It's never over. Learning aids comprehension. Lessons repeat until we understand. Learning transforms talent into skill. Don't kill the messenger, and ignorance is nothing to be proud of. Meaning, Haley, right? We've been talking about ignorance or not, and it's nothing to be proud of. Hiding doesn't help. There's a time to be active and a time to be passive and receptive, but denying things exist does not help. The Three of Air symbolizes the importance of education and studying and helping us to reach our highest potential, and reminds us that education should be thought of as a lifelong process. Life itself teaches us. Every experience can offer us a lesson. The people around us and those who come into our lives can all teach us and guide us if we are willing to be teachable. They are teaching us, whether we're open to that lesson or not. They can give us insight into who we are, who they are, and our relationships within society, nature, and our immediate environments. Education serves to help the individual develop an understanding of life and to comprehend it. It helps to maintain a sense of freedom and purpose. It helps us to determine whether a situation is right or wrong for us, and provides us with other options. So like BitChute is an alternative to YouTube, right? MeWe is an alternative to Facebook, things like that. And I'm on MeWe, so check it out. I'll probably be posting these on there and other places now too, because Facebook be fucking me over. It helps us to maintain a sense of freedom and purpose. It helps us determine whether a situation is right or wrong for us and provides us with other options. It also helps us to see that there can be long-term ramifications, rewards, and consequences to our actions. Karma. That's what that is. Good and bad. Karma. Ramifications. Consequences. We learn of our history. We learn of our possible future. We learn about nature and the world. We learn about ourselves as a race. And we learn about the universe in which we dwell. The knowledge we receive via an education empowers us. And the more we know, the more we can accomplish. Education helps us to use our mind and our senses to our benefit. It protects us from being fooled and manipulated and deceived, and it also gives us the means to follow our dreams. The more we learn, the more we can comprehend, and the easier it becomes to communicate and express ourselves. But to become both learned and educated takes time, patience, right? It's the beginning of an emotional journey. Ace of Cups. You're not at the end. It's the beginning. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, until you're dead. It takes patience. But to become both learned and educated takes time and a willingness, openness, to commit oneself to a lengthy process of study and evaluation of the information we gathered. We must observe and listen, study, absorb, and then be tested to see if we comprehend what we have learned, and then observe more and listen more, study and observe and be tested once again. It's a never-ending process. This process does not stop even when we leave the classroom, because we never leave the classroom. Life is our classroom, and it is by living life that our passions and talents and the opportunity to seek to increase our knowledge in a manner that can transform those passions and talents into genuine skill will be revealed. The Three of Air reminds us to move through life with the intention of learning from life, from our experiences, and from the people around us, and from the world around us. It's all a lesson. Don't try to fight it. To accomplish this, we can ask questions about everything and everyone. Double Gemini life, I ask questions about everything, even people with whom I agree fundamentally, which they sometimes take as me attacking them, but it's not the case. With whom we come into contact. Everybody's a tutor, and everybody's a student. We can seek out our elders and those who have different customs, because one will teach us of traditions and of a history that is not discussed in books, and the other will expose us to ideas and beliefs that are different to our own. Both, in turn, can provide us with contrast and depth that will enable us to perceive the world from multiple perspectives. Listen to their stories, allow them to teach you their trade, of their history and culture, learn from them and their lives, and you might discover they have given you the means to improve your own life. When we have the desire to learn and to nurture our talents, while patience will stand us in good stead, a desire for instant gratification will likely hinder us. It takes a true willingness to commit oneself to study and learning. To learn something and learn it well requires dedication, commitment, and time. Sometimes it takes a lifetime, and sometimes the lessons offered will repeat and repeat and repeat until we can perform a task as naturally and with as little thought as breathing, like guitar for me at this point, or cards or whatever. It is important to remember that sometimes learning cannot be rushed, and the practice will give way to ease and confidence. Repeated lessons and practice make it easier for us to understand, essentially to comprehend. Comprehension is the ability to understand the lessons we have learned, and sometimes to do so requires both effort and willingness in the form of time and an open mind. Sometimes it requires learning certain lessons several times until we become familiar, while other times our comprehension can only be increased by exposing ourselves to new experiences, places, and people, to the strange and the unfamiliar. The more you educate yourself, the more you know and understand, the easier it becomes to step outside of yourself and see the world and your experiences for what they truly are. In doing so, it becomes easier to find your place, purpose, or direction, to fulfill your goals, and to lead a productive life. The Three of Air will appear in your cards when there is a need to expand your mind by educating yourself in order to improve and grow, right? So we are improving and growing. We're being baptized into new emotional territories, but we're going to be doing it through our minds, it seems, and learning lessons repeatedly, right? Always moving forward, always replenishing, coming from the dryness into life through awareness, through knowledge, potentially even though knowledge is not truth. We have to remember that the truth is always one, and everything's a dream, and all that kind of stuff. But bottom line, we have a differentiated experience that's called individuality. We have different lessons. Everybody's in their own kind of taking their own tests. When I had my SATs back in high school, I had an essay on the Grateful Dead, and nobody else had that. And I was like, what the fuck? We were all taking SATs, the test, but we all had different test questions. So that's life. That is life, folks. So for the Galactic Heritage card, let's see what we got. Light of Awareness. So this is the light of life in a cup form. And this is the light of awareness in knowledge air form. Very apt. Light of Awareness, 1 of 5, Orion Future Timeline. So, the light of awareness. Our true state of being is as a unified, abiding awareness, the one underlying it all. That's what I'm saying. This awareness contains no judgment, labeling, commentary, or opinion. When we do deep meditation, we can access this state, first for brief moments and then for longer periods of time. The consciousness of the Orion light represents this abiding awareness within us that transcends polarity. You may visualize this as a candle flame during your meditation. Work with this exercise to reconnect with your true state of being. As each person does this, the old wounds from Orion are healed and humanity can awaken. This is on page 144. Commentary. The last 4 cards of the deck access the energy called the Orion Light, which connects with a very evolved era in Orion history, but represents so much more. They reference the complete healing and integration of not only the polarity within the Orion system that has affected us all, but the polarity that played out within the holographic matrix of creation itself. These cards represent the end game, so to speak, the return to the source, the cup that overflows forever and ever, amen. The return to the source and our natural state of being is one unified abiding consciousness. Once awakened, and you're either awake or asleep, there's no grades here. Once awakened, the illusion of polarity can no longer exist. You see it as one big thing, expressing itself differently. Eventually, all of us on earth will have to accept that awakening. That's the Great Awakening. Or salvation comes not from anyone or anything outside of us, but through our own efforts to awaken ourselves, which is grace anyway, because your higher self's guiding you through that process. If this card appears in your reading, it is a powerful symbol of the Orion light. The light of awareness of creation is strongly working with you for your own awakening. You may or may not feel it overtly. If you need assistance to tap into it, imagine a golden liquid lake during your meditation and know that all aspects of creation, even the unpleasant ones, even the shit you disagree with and hate, loving your enemies. Why? Because it's all one. Even the unpleasant things are made from this liquid light. It's all one consciousness. Let this liquid light help you feel the unity that is your true nature, and know that this liquid light resides in you too. The kingdom of God is within. Use the candle flame as mentioned above to access this awareness as often as you can. So very profound energy being kind of represented here. Let's go ahead and get an animal oracle card. What wants to pop? We've got leadership, number 10, the elephant. So that's happening. All right, so leadership, 10, elephant. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Haley, right? Be the leader in your own life. I'm a life path 1. Definitely naturally inclined to do this. Leo rising. If you want something achieved, take the lead yourself. Nothing's going to do it for you. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but instead by inspiration. As an ENFP, I'm the inspirer. I'm trying to lead by example. I'm not telling people to believe in tarot. I'm just showing you. I'm not telling people to believe in astrology. I'm just telling you about it. I'm not telling people to believe in guitar jams. I'm just doing it, right? Lead by example and inspiration ultimately, not force. You can't force people to have the red pill. You can inspire them out of curiosity or desire or interest or whatever to do that. Mythos. The Hindu god Ganesha was shaped from the earth by the goddess Parvati. When her husband Shiva returned after a long time away from home, the first thing he saw was a handsome young man with Parvati. In his anger, he attacked the young man, severing his head. Very martial, very Tuesday, Tears Day. Parvati, and very Scorpio sun, moon in the last degree of Sagittarius. Is like, I'm going to react violently and passionately, killing, potentially, through misinterpretation. Parvati then revealed who Ganesha was, and Shiva sent his soldier to return the head of any sleeping being that was facing north. Interesting magic there. I don't get that. An elephant was found, and its head was attached to the body of Ganesha. The life of Ganesha was restored, and Shiva declared that from then on, this elephant-headed young man would always be loved by the community and his name invoked as a joyful blessing prior to the beginning of major undertakings such as businesses, developments, and projects of all kinds. Ace of Cups. Before you begin things, you're going to get blessings through the light of awareness, right, as you endeavor further into the school of life. It would be Ganesha who made sure no obstacles will be placed in the way of righteous actions. When you're doing the right thing, nothing stops it. But it is also he who placed obstacles to encourage people to take different directions. Hey, maybe America and the West in general has been living a really shitty option, although it's perfectly imperfect, and now we're having obstacles or challenges kind of confront us into new ways of being, right? Think of it that way. It's not happening to you, it's happening through you. Why? To learn. Today, Ganesha is one of the most loved of all Hindu gods. Everywhere you turn in modern India, there is joyful elephant-headed deity balancing on one leg, often riding a mouse, pushing away your worries and negativity and leading you towards the best path possible. Elephants are richly represented in mythos in Asia of Africa. Most tales speak of their wisdom and strength and their ability to guide through difficult circumstances. The animal. There are 3 species of elephant living on Earth at the present: the African bush elephant, the African forest elephant, and the Asian elephant. All species of elephants have long, prehensile trunks they use for breathing, food gathering, and communicating, and to collect water for drinking and washing. The trunk is also used in combination with the body for pushing objects out of the animal's path. Elephants have amazing padded feet that are designed to spread their weight over a wide area and enable them to move more silently, considering their size. They vocalize both sonically and infrasonically, which is a low frequency, so low you can't hear it. Scientists have measured infrasonic communication of African elephants from 15 to 35 hertz, with sound pressure levels as high as 118 decibels, allowing communication for up to 10 kilometers through the ground. While humans may not be able to understand what these calls mean, they can certainly perceive the vibration. Elephants live in family groups and often join with other family groups to form large herds, tribes becoming nations. These are matriarchal and are led by an experienced older matriarch. She holds the landscape memory for the group, often being able to lead them to water in times of scarcity, and will be the organizer of defense if the group is threatened. Elephants are highly intelligent and demonstrate a rich emotional life. They openly mourn their dead and revisit the skeletons of those they once knew who have died. The magic. Elephant magic is powerful yet calm. Paradox, but there it is. It's big and powerful, but it's chill. It could be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and take leadership and use leadership, which is where the magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask for the elephant to lend her energy to you. Symbologies: elephant with a raised trunk, elephant-headed boy, warrior with an elephant head, elephant with a mouse. Status: African elephants are vulnerable mainly due to poaching. Asian elephants are endangered due to habitat destruction. So everybody's kind of fucked on that front. Let's take care of our animal friends. But Ganesha, I have gotten a reading before. The only tarot reading I've ever gotten was from Alexander Mazone, paid. about a year and a half, 2 years ago, or whenever it was, and he was like, Odin, Thoth, Ganesha, these are your kind of guides. And then, yeah, I haven't really worked with them because I think I'm kind of at a place where I can do it on my own. I don't want to sound cocky, but it's like these are the archetypes which I try to embody, right? Removing obstacles. How can we make the way easier? And putting obstacles in the way and not looking at them as things like rocks in the river. The river flows no matter what. If there's a rock, it's there for a reason, and you got to approach it and learn from it, right? 3 of air. It's like, what's the lesson in the obstacle? It'll always flow, right? And we have to surrender to the light of awareness, which is all consciousness, the one. But being a leader sometimes calls for differentiation. Just make sure you're not like hurting others. They are you. Pablo Picasso is our artist. So, Pablo Picasso. Picasso, Mr. 20th century art himself, Pablo Picasso had his blue and rose periods in turn-of-the-century Paris, then changed modern art forever by popularizing Cubism through geometric, crystallized, deconstructed paintings of friends, lovers, prostitutes, and the calamities of war. With Gertrude Stein's support, he also experimented with neoclassicism, surrealism, and sculpture. Picasso's many styles and superhuman prolificness stemmed from his belief that he'd only live as long as he worked. Very Tuesday, Marshall. This belief must have had a clause about frequent adultery, as evidenced by Picasso's many tragic affairs. Today, Picasso is shorthand for what you'll see in modern art museums' permanent art collections. So Picasso is saying, make something worth impersonating, right? Be a leader. Show a way. Show a way of awareness. Be that light. Be the change, right? Show people inspiration through love and creativity and compassion. Be the change, right? When people are thirsty and you see water, everyone wants it, right? Everybody's thirsty right now. Everybody's always been thirsty, and that water is awareness. And once we become aware, we become satiated. But that comes through a process of learning, through trial and error, through light and dark interplay and shadow, like the polarity game that we're in. So try to, as Picasso is telling us, make something worth impersonating, and that's how you know that you're really doing your good job. Ultimately, you don't really want to give a shit if people are trying to impersonate you or not, but make something so quality, so rejuvenating, so beautiful, right? So full of life and love, so full of light and awareness, so full of showing a way, so full of, leadership, essentially, that you're worth impersonating, that people want to learn from you. And know that you're all an eternal student. You're never fully there. Gandalf is always learning. Like, he's not just so woke that he's like, I get it all, fuck y'all. That's what Sauron and Saruman thought. That's the pride of their ignorance of their awareness. Topaz, though. What it is, topaz is the world's hardest silicon-based mineral. Its name alludes to the Sanskrit word for fire. In the Middle Ages, it was believed to cure crazy. Who needs it? Anyone burning A, the midnight oil, B, the candle at both ends, C, bridges, D, all of the above. Where to put it? Wherever the action needs to happen. Tuesday, Marshall, action, right? Mars is in Aries, direct. I was looking at Mars last night when I was stargazing. Very beautiful. When to use it? When you're aiming in the right direction, but keep misfiring. So sometimes you're going the right way, but you're not it's not firing on all pistons, right? Passion is totally indispensable. Heart, passion, vitality, life is necessary. But if you're not careful with it, it might burn you up. You can lose friends, lose lovers, lose opportunities because of zeal overcoming you. This is about this is about moderation of fire. Call on topaz to transform wild obsessions into laser-like focus and burning desires into getting things done. This is about increasing our firepower. So how do we increase our firepower ultimately? Through love, through adventure into the unknown, from dry to wet, right? To be leaders, to take passion and show our zeal in a way of showing true light of awareness, right? To make something worth impersonating through our own experiences. This guy's learning from this curriculum, and this dragon's like, what are you learning? I know things back here, this light language that you have no clue about, but your book is telling you something. Let's have a conversation, right? So the North Node is in Gemini. We are learning, folks. Right now we are learning. With the South Node in Sagittarius, we're learning that not everybody's truth is true, and everybody's fighting for their perspective, and it's like, that's problematic. So let's go ahead and play some music. Tell me in the comments what you think I should do, given that Facebook crashes all the time. This is through YouTube, and I'm going to post it on Facebook. What do you guys think the best method for me to dispense this knowledge is? I like giving card jams. I love. This is a good habit for me, and I think people enjoy it, so it makes sense. But I'm also being thwarted. So, how would you overcome this obstacle, Ganesha style? It's probably gonna make me adapt and have to do some things differently, but that's all good. So we've got. Ace of Cups. Wonder what that is. It sounds like a blue speaker, but I didn't. You get the idea. So, I'm curious as to what you guys think I should do in terms of dealing with social media failures, but I guess that's probably going to be happening a lot. Those who bring the light get shut down. Happens. Ace of Cup. Know that you're being replenished. You can start over. It's a new journey emotionally. Be thankful. You come from the shadow and the darkness and the dryness into life, light, abundance, growth, prosperity, right? It's through lessons that's coming about, so don't just think it happens. You have to approach reality both as an emotional and an intellectual being, right? Both and. Make something worth impersonating, though, right? As Picasso would say, the light of awareness is ever present. You can't escape it, but you want to carve out your own path in the light of awareness. And taking Topaz, quantumly entangling with this, increases your firepower, your ability to lead, your ability to be an example, your ability to push through that dirt and flower and blossom and be your highest self. Hopefully that makes sense. No podcast today, though Team Rabbit Hole podcast is well worth scoping. We've got Richard Rudd on this week. We just had Stacey DeMarco. Great guests and a lot of fun. So that's that. Hit me up for a reading if you want. I love giving them. People like getting them. And ultimately know that we're beginning a lot of newness and coming with love and compassion ultimately for the lessons that we're learning. Everybody's lessons are different, but we're all in school together. Try to ace your exams. Set an example. Be a leader, right? Be a light in the darkness, as they say, a light of awareness. It's all awareness, but are you in shadow or are you in light of awareness, not ignorance? Increase your power with Topaz and know that you can get it done. So take that for what it's worth and enjoy your Tears Day. Bye.